my name is Vishal and today we will explore the wonderful world of biology. Now before we go ahead, I want you all to focus what is written on the board. And this is very important. What is written here? Learn science for peace and harmony. Because whenever we are learning science, we also have a responsibility to use it for peace and harmony, not for destruction. So I hope the message is clear. While we are taking our very first step in this field, it is important that we take this step as responsible, learning, wonderful human beings. So as you know that today we are going to study biology. And as you all are now come to grade 6 or class 6, and for the first time you have a separate book for biology. So it is very important to understand what we are going to study. So my dear students, biology comes from two words, bio and logy, where bio means the two streams of life. And what are the two streams of life which you know by now? Everyone can tell what are the two streams of life. One is plants, and you are absolutely correct in guessing that the other one is animals. And for the first time, the classification of biology into plants and animals was done by Aristotle. Aristotle is also known as the father of biology. So now we have some information that which subject we are going to explore and enjoy exploring it. So we are going to enjoy one of the streams of science, which is biology. Biology deals with the study of living things, which is plants and animals, and the father of biology is Aristotle, as you can see, because he was the first person who actually told us that life is found in two main forms, plants and animals. Now we will proceed with today's topic. I'll just rub this to you. Great. So today's topic that we have here is learning about the leaf. So by now, I'm sure you all have clearly understood the topic, which is leaf, because the moment I write it here on the board, you already have imagined so many leaves that you have seen throughout your life. Yes, that's correct? Okay, now before we go ahead, let me ask you some very simple questions which you are really going to enjoy answering, because they are very simple. Where do you find leaves? Where do we find leaves? Oh, yes, that's a simple one. Sir, we find leaves on plants. Yes, you find the leaves on plants. Very nice. Yes, so we find leaves on plants. Good. But have you seen the plant very carefully? So what are the parts of a plant? Yes, there are two parts in a plant. One is the visible part that we can always see with our, we can see the stem of the plant. Oh yes, we can see the stem of the plant. Then we can see its branches. Oh yes, we can see the branches. Then what else you can see? I'm sure you are guessing while watching this. Yes, definitely you are right. You can see the flowers in the plant. Let me make a small flower for you here. Yes, absolutely correct. You can see flowers, and what else you can see? Oh, you can see fruits also. That's very nice. So let's put some fruit here. Okay. I hope you like the fruit here. Okay. And what are the things that we cannot see in a plant? Oh yes, there are few parts of the plant that we cannot see because they are under the ground. Yes. So if this is the ground, this is all that we could see, and under the ground there are some parts within as well that we are not able to see. And what would you call these parts? This part is known as the root. Yes, the parts of the plant that are below the ground are known as the root, and the part of the plant that is above the ground we call it as a shoot. Yes. Now that we have identified the various parts of the plant, let us focus on the structure of this leaf. That when you see this leaf very closely, what exactly can you see? So I am just rubbing off all the other parts, and let me make this leaf a little bigger for you as well, okay? So it will be much more enjoyable and much more convenient to see as well. Let's have a look. So I am making a leaf. Let's start making a small little branch out here for you. I hope it is visible. And from this branch here we go. And here I will make a leaf. Okay. Some of you have very good drawing, so I am sure you will make better leaf than me. Very nice. Good. Great. Now when we have a look, I am sure we have already seen this many times in nature. Now we have to identify what are the various parts that we see in a leaf. Okay, it's very easy, it's very simple, right? Only that you have to pay attention. You don't have to pay money. That's the wonderful thing. What you have to pay is, you have to pay attention, okay? And I'm sure you're right now paying attention. So, what do we find here? Let's call this a branch. This is not a part of the leaf. This can be a branch, or it can be a stem. And there is one part here which is attached to the branch. The leaf that is attached to the branch. So let's look at this. It's known as the petiole. This part here is known as the petiole. And some people in simple language can call it the stalk. This is the part through which the leaf is connected to the branch. Correct? Okay. Now when we see we also find that there is a flat surface all around, and the leaf has this entire flat surface which is looking green in color. We can call this flat surface that we find on the leaf, what will we call it? We can call it lamina, or we can also call it the leaf blade. Lamina or the leaf blade. Isn't it wonderful? And then we can also see that there is an edge all around the leaf. There is an edge all around the leaf. And this edge, let's call it right now margin. Let's call it a margin. Okay, this is the margin of the leaf. Okay, what else can we see? Can you see something else? Oh yes, you can see certain structures here. So this main structure that is going across, we call it the midrib. So let's call it the midrib. The midrib. Okay. And then we have these small structures also. And what do you think we can call them? They are looking like veins. So we'll call them as veins. And they can be even smaller structures as well in the veins, and then we will call them as veinlets. So what are the various parts that we've just seen? I have some surprise package for you. Oh yes, today in the morning I went for a walk and I bought for you some leaves, wonderful leaves. So let's have a look at this leaf. Okay. Okay, the diagram and the leaf. I am sure the leaf is clear to you. You can see it. Okay, what do you find here? What do you find here? Here you find a stalk. Okay, the stalk is there. The leaf was connected to the branch somewhat like this. Correct? Okay, and now this stalk, what do we call it as? Yes, you're right, you guessed it correct. You call it the petiole. Okay, then what is this surface, this full surface of the leaf? I hope it is clear. You can see this entire surface of the leaf, this flat green surface. What do we call it? Oh yes, I am sure many of you are now jumping from the edges of your seat and you're excited to answer, correct? And I am sure you're right. The answer is lamina. This is lamina. It's also known as, yes, you're right again, it's also known as the leaf blade. Correct? Absolutely. And let's have a look at this structure here. Can you see this entire structure that is continuing forward? This entire structure here? And what will we call this structure? This structure that is going across. I hope it is clear. Is it? You're able to see it clearly? Wonderful, wonderful. So this structure is known as the midrib. Why are we calling the midrib? Just look at the leaf and you'll be able to clearly understand. Is it not going through the middle of the leaf? So we are calling it yes, now you understood. So we are calling it the midrib. Okay. And then you also find there are some other branches coming out from it. And that's what we are calling them as vein. And then if I put this leaf like this, you can see this leaf has an edge. There's an edge around this leaf. This is the edge. And this edge we are calling it as margin. I hope it is clear now. Okay, now I'll ask you one wonderful question here. Have you not noticed that the various leaves, when you look at them on the back side of the leaf and in the front side of the leaf or on either sides of the leaf, the color is not the same. What could be the reason? Generally, let me have some more leaves for you. Oh yes. Okay, there is one more leaf. This is a guava leaf. Actually, this leaf belongs to a tree that I grew myself and now it's bearing fruit as well. Last year also I enjoyed its fruits and this year also. So this is the leaf of that guava tree. I have great pride in saying this plant was planted by me. Okay, so you can see there's a difference in the structure. See, on one side and on the other side the color is different. And let me make it more easy for you. The same guava tree, now this is a hint for you, a hint. The same guava tree has these two kinds of leaves. One is which color? Green, correct. One is which color? Yellow. Now, why this leaf is yellow and why this leaf is green? In short, the question comes for us, which let me put that on the board for you. And the question is sunlight. The absorption of sunlight. For what? Its hobby is to absorb sunlight. Is that the reason? No, definitely not. To make what? To make food. To make food for the plant. With that we come to this question that what is the function of leaves? And I'm sure by now it is extremely clear that the function of leaves is to make food for the plant. And once the leaf becomes old, it loses its ability to make food. You will find it in a different color. And now this leaf is going to fall off because its life is over and its work is over with the plant. Okay, now I'm asking you another question. I'll show you another leaf and you have to give me the difference. These two leaves, this leaf and this leaf. Is there any difference in these leaves? Can you find any difference in these leaves? Yes? You think that, okay, this branch has many small leaves. That's what we think. And this one? It's one single leaf. That's what we think. What if I say to you that actually both these leaves are different types of leaves, where this is one complete leaf known as a compound leaf. what is the difference? If we look at this, what is the difference? Now we are tempted to say that I think there are many small leaves here and this is having only one leaf, so there are many leaves here. But what if I say that this is a modification in this particular plant, or what we are finding here is a compound leaf, means there are many small leaflets that form this leaf. So in other words, we say that this entire leaf, this surface of the leaf, you remember, no? The surface of the leaf, what we called it? We called it as a lamina. And you remember the lamina, right? So the lamina of a big leaf, got divided into small leaves. I am just putting it in such a way so that you can understand. The lamina of a big leaf got divided into smaller leaves, and it was completely divided. You could easily see that the entire leaf has been completely divided. The lamina is completely divided. So this earlier looked like an entire big leaf, but now the lamina is divided, as you can see here, into small leaflets. And let me just rub off these extra drawings for you, or these extra lines for you that I have drawn. So you will easily understand that yes, the lamina is completely divided, forming leaflets, and therefore this is actually a compound leaf, whereas this is a simple leaf. Okay, so today what we understood right now till here, we understood that biology is the study of life forms, two forms of life, plants and animals. Yes, Aristotle is the father of biology. Yes, I hope you remember that. Then we came to know about the plant, and we knew that there are two parts. One that is above the ground that we can see is the shoot, and the other one that is below the ground, and that's the root. Then we also came to know on the branches we have leaves, and these leaves are green in color because of chlorophyll. Yes. Then we also came to know various parts of the leaf, right? And then we also have come to know that there are two types of leaves that we came to know: compound leaf and simple leaf. Compound leaf, where the lamina is divided completely, forming leaflets, and simple leaf, where the lamina is continuous. Okay, so I believe till now you have been able to understand this concept, or these observations that you have been making around, and you have been able to correlate what you studied with your observations till now. Okay, so I hope this class was fruitful for you, and you now will be able to explore the world around you and identify between compound leaves and simple leaves. And you will also be able to identify that on the same tree we may have green leaves and we may have leaves that are yellow in color, and now they are not making food anymore. At the same, you will also find that since the leaf has chlorophyll, the surface that is facing the sun, has more chlorophyll in it, and that is the reason that the surface that is not facing the sun is a different color. Generally, it will be a lighter version or a lighter color of green, whereas the surface that is facing will be a darker version of green, because it has a high concentration of chlorophyll to absorb sunlight. So I think few wonderful things you learned today, and now utilize this knowledge, try to explore the world around you and enjoy the journey of learning biology. And biology is a stream of science, but do not forget, learn science for peace and harmony. So God bless you. Thank you so much.